Regional Australia is in the middle of a food revolution. Our little towns are overflowing with the freshest produce and most exciting cuisine. And it's our job to explore these places with the caravan in tow. We'll find delicious food, meet colourful local characters, and show you the most beautiful places to make camp. Join Chef Macca, Tim, and me, Emma, as we embark on our RV Daily Foodie Trails. On today's show, we've hooked up our Easy Trail caravans on a journey to explore the Southern Highlands and tablelands of New South Wales. We find breathtaking free camps, sweet treats, organic meats, and gourmet food experiences equal to anywhere in the world.
It's delicious and healthy, right?
It's a hungry caravanner's trail to heaven. We kick off this foodie trail in the luscious town of Robertson before winding our way out to Yass, then travelling to the historic town of Braidwood. Turns out our good friend Tim is stuck back at the office finishing the latest issue of RV Daily. He'll be catching up with us later. So it's up to Chef Macca and I to set up the easy trails at a delightful private campsite just outside Robertson.
Yep, that's good, Macca. I actually reckon that's pretty good.
The most scenic locations can have you parking on hills and at all sorts of angles. So it pays to work as a team to make sure that the vans are level and safe.
You never want to rely on your handbrake alone. That's why I've got these special little chocks. The other thing to be careful of is never trust that these wheels have been done up the right way. So I always like to give them, when they're brand new, just a bit of a tweak. And I'm not going around in, one after the other. I'm going opposite. And I'm happy that they're perfect.
Good on you, Chef Macca. Now it's time to explore Robertson to see what delicious goodies we can find. These lush, verdant fields are the result of high rainfall and rich soils. It means farmers can grow premium quality produce from potatoes to organic, grass-fed beef and lamb. First up, and Chef Macca doesn't have far to travel because he's meeting the farmer who actually owns and runs the land we're camped on.
I'm really intrigued to see this mixture of cattle you've got here. It's a crazy motley bunch as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, it might look like that, but these are British-bred cattle.
Okay.
We're finding people now are cutting back on their meat consumption, so we'd rather eat smaller portions of higher quality. And these are perfect cattle for that.
John Major's family have been farming these green fields for generations. John also runs paddock to plate tours because he wants people to understand and to appreciate how much care and attention goes into the food we eat. John's family also runs the butcher shop in Burrawang. He's taking Chef Macca in to learn about the best value for money cuts.
He's taking his brisket off first,
Yep.
and all meat can be tender if you cook it slowly. Blade is a forgotten type of meat. Realistically, I'd consider it a poor man's rump.
Yes.
Because cooked properly, done the right way, it's still a nice flavoursome tender steak.
Yeah.
You've got this middle section that you can use as blade steaks, whereas you can grill, fry, barbecue,
Yep.
slow cook, whatever you want, but that cut will have plenty of flavour in it.
Later on, Chef Macca will share his secrets on cooking blade steak. But right now, I'm dropping into a place I'm told is a must-see for all serious foodies.
Robertson has a really strong paddock to plate ethos, and the next chef I'm about to meet is no exception. In fact, it's the beautiful local produce of Robertson that drew him here from the Big Smoke.
Stephen Santucci runs Moonacre's Kitchen, a cafe, restaurant, bakery and charcuterie, a local hotspot where Stephen describes his food philosophy as soil to belly. He's referring to the farming practices of Moonacre's farm, which are driven by a desire to create balance and harmony between the environment and the produce, while at the same time improving the soil.
That regenerative style of farming really produces a flavour that is, I guess, transportative. Like it really transports someone, or it transports me to another time and place.
I'll have to collect some of these goodies for our happy hour party, but right now I have to taste their famous broccoli sandwich on potato sourdough.
It's cheesy, it's kind of got some nice texture in the broccoli there. It's delicious and healthy, right?
Right.
Because it's broccoli.
That's right,
Forget
that's
about all
right.
the oil that's
That's
dripping
right.
onto my plate. It's healthy.
Sharing stories of our day back at camp, and it's time to relax and watch the sun go down. Chef Macca starts to prepare my dinner, and I suppose I should get on to setting up my bed.
Yeah, that'll do me.
Tonight I'm cooking with blade steak. So I've salted it into a hot pan. I'm using butter. That's the noise I want to hear. We need it to be really, really hot.
Now, when it comes to cooking steak, everyone has their own technique, and Chef Macca is no exception.
You don't need it brown on both sides. It's not necessary. When you serve it up, you're going to look at this brown bark on the top. It doesn't really matter about the bottom, but we want it to be nice and brown on the top and then done to your likeness through the middle of the meat. I reckon these are ready to turn.
Actually smells delicious.
Of course it is. I cooked it. They didn't call me Chef Macca for nothing. Off your pop.
Luckily, he backed up that attitude with a seriously succulent steak. After the break, we catch up with Tim, and our foodie trail heads on to Yass.
I'm going to eat this one because it's gone rogue over here and
Okay.
it isn't falling into line and it deserves it.
Robertson in the Southern Highlands is home to the Big Potato and the famous pie shop, which is great for passers-by. It's also the place where our editor Tim is joining us for the rest of this foodie trail.
Hey, Van Monkeys.
Frankincense
I
and
have
myrrh.
gifts. Well, not quite.
Back
but
from the big smoke.
yeah.
La-dee-da. Could have got
you-
yourself a new shirt.
Yep, and I'm happier to be here now, among friends, and you.
Yeah.
And anyway, I brought gifts.
And don't we all just love a good meat pie for brekkie?
Wow. Not bad, is it?
That's good. That's good.
Anyway, as lovely as this is, it's time we pack up the easy trails, hitch them to the rams, and head out west to our next free camp at Yass in the broader Canberra region. A little later in the show, we're going to be hosting our happy hour party at Braidwood. So the boys and I are continuing our mission to find treats that will showcase the best hidden gems along this trail. Starting with me.
So you can imagine how excited I am to be about to meet a woman who lives and breathes chocolate.
This is the dark one. This has to be tempered by hand.
Robin Rowe has been making chocolates for 19 years.
And so is that a high quality chocolate then?
It is. Anything over 31% is called a couverture. And so if you're looking at your labels, make sure it's a couverture chocolate that people are buying.
Couverture. Okay.
Yeah, couverture. It's a French word meaning covering.
What started as a small market stall has grown into a busy shop selling 30 varieties of handcrafted chocolates, all using fair trade cocoa and quality ingredients from the local region. It's interesting to witness how intricate the process is. There's a lot of love and attention that goes into each and every individual chocolate. I believe the same effort should go into the tasting.
I'm going to eat this one because it's gone rogue over here and
Okay.
it isn't falling into line and it deserves it. It had it coming.
Robin only sells from her shop, so if you want to sample her salted caramel or jasmine green tea, the honey log, ginger, French vanilla, or her bestseller, the coconut lime zing, you'll just have to come to Yass.
Picked by the master herself.
Thank you, Emma.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you.
While I carefully choose the very best samples for our happy hour party, it's over to Chef Macca, who may pick up some cooking tips from one of the region's top chefs.
I tell you what, driving up the Hume Highway is a great way to go from point A to point B. But I love turning off on the little B roads, the C roads and the D roads. Give me a Z road if you've got one, because that's where you find the real treasures.
Chef Macca has taken the back roads out to Gundaroo, about 40 minutes out from Yass, where the 150-year-old Royal Hotel has been converted into grazing, an award-winning restaurant owned and run by executive chef Kurt Newman.
We're always the ugly sister to Melbourne and Sydney. You know, we're just a stopover. But really now, Canberra's, or the Yass region and Canberra region, is developing its own identity for food and for wine. And I think that really shows.
Now it's Kurt's turn to master the humble steak. and he's cooking an Angus flank that's been sous vide at 56.5 degrees for 12 hours.
You know, you can have these beautiful cuts of meat, almost secondary cuts of meat, cooked medium rare without experiencing, you know, blood leaking all out over the plate. A little bit of olive oil and salt. Get a nice char on there. So this is our basting. It has the lemon, the anchovy for the umami, some olive oil and some Dijon. We'll just brush that on there. And you can already smell that coming through.
Yeah, that's really...
You know, there's the old saying, only turn your piece of beef once. Well,
What's your theory?
my theory is that you turn it as often as you like. It really depends on the thickness of the meat. So we've rested our Angus flank now. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to throw our triple cooked potatoes in the fryer. There we go. And then we have some soft turds blended up with some salted butter and some Dijon and some egg yolks. A little bit of flame. Just lightly hitting those herds with a bit of heat as well. And then we'll just finish this off with a touch of our jus. Just going to lightly season these with the caramelised onion salt that we make. Just gives it a real sweetness to the chip. There we go. And it'll go lovely with a glass of local wine as well. Good, yeah. Excellent.
Looking forward to it.
Fantastic.
While Macca savours this moment, Tim is after some caffeine, hitting the streets in search of Yass's finest coffee.
The coffee roaster we're about to meet started his work in his bedroom, then he moved to a coffee van before graduating to his own shop with a roastery attached.
Daniel and Tony Newhouse have been running 6-8 coffee roasters in its current form for 3 years. It's a labour of love. Starting small and growing slowly has taught Daniel to be very particular. He buys only the highest quality, ethically produced beans, roasts them to perfection, and has become a master barista.
You clearly enjoy it.
Yeah, I do. I'm a little bit particular about it. Can I make you coffee?
I would love a coffee.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it up to you.
Ethiopian is definitely probably one of my favourite origins of where coffee comes from. Yep. And a naturally processed coffee from Ethiopia. There's a lot of kind of berry flavours going on in there, and nice and big and silky body. So
excellent.
Yeah.
You wish you were me right now.
Back at camp, and Chef Macca is inspired by Robertson's most famous landmark.
Well, what are we going to cook with today? The humble spud. Let's get started. I'm doing chips today. These are my absolute favourite. These are a creamy, waxy sort of potato, and I want to do these special chips. They're triple cooked.
Chef Macca boils till soft, then dries them off and into hot oil for the first fry. A light browning, then rest.
Then we're going to cool them down a little bit, wait for that oil to come back to temperature, and then we're going to heat them again for that final beautiful crust.
Simple, yes. But what's the first thing we all go for? The chips. It's always the chips.
Buying a caravan can be really confusing. There are literally hundreds on the Australian market, including lots of off-road vans. So I'm going to give you a couple of things to look for when you're buying an off-road caravan. We're starting at the back here. You want to make sure the van has good departure angles. That angle there basically means if you're going up a steep track, the back of your van is not going to bottom out as easily. The van needs to have an off-road suspension system. You want decent tyres, so at least light truck tyres. We're running Goodyear all-terrains. Importantly, the van also needs to have an off-road hitch. This is a McHitch system here, and basically what this does is 360-degree rotation, so that helps you on the rough and tumble when you're exploring beautiful bush tracks. Really, there are too many things for me to rattle off here, but head over to rvdaily.com.au for our complete guide on how to buy an off-road caravan.
Up next, we continue our foodie trail into Braidwood, and Chef Macca meets some truffle pups.
Whoop, you got one. Oh, that's a beauty, actually.
The fragrance coming out of this bowl is just extraordinary.
And so we're back on the road, heading to the last town of this foodie trail.
Where we're headed to next, Macca, I believe it's a little place called Braidwood. Do you know it well, or is this a first?
Oh, look, I've been through Braidwood many times on my way up to the snow. It's a pretty town, and I'm looking forward to getting there because there's a couple of great little places that we're going to visit today.
Our final camping spot on this foodie trail is at a property just outside Braidwood where camping is encouraged. Welcome to Saddle Camp.
Getting yourself. Great to see you.
Thank you so much for coming out.
It's good to be here.
Helen offers paid powered sites alongside her recently acquired tiny houses. And as the name suggests, even your horses are welcome here. We'll be hosting our happy hour party here. But right now, Chef Macca is following up on a rumour about a world-class product being grown just outside Braidwood.
I'm going to meet a bloke who bought the cheapest, crappiest bit of land in the whole district to grow one of the most expensive products in the world, truffles.
Peter and Kate Marshall own and run Terra Preta Truffles, an award-winning farm that supplies some of the world's best chefs.
My job was to actually replicate an old French forest.
Why did you buy this block of land?
I wanted a ruined dairy farm because if it was a dairy farm once, that means it's in a good climate, close to a bus route for the kids, and it would have had a good base rock. 10 years ago, you couldn't push that into the ground. Now, even though it's dry, look at the texture.
Yeah, that's just beautiful soil.
Well, that was created by, see the roots there?
Yes.
That's got the truffle organism on the roots there.
Oh, I can see, yeah. Okay.
Busily breaking up the structure of the granite and making it into crumbly, dark soil. Because without mycelia, we wouldn't have any soil. It's that simple, yeah.
That mycelia extends this soil producing goodness by creating aromatic truffles that attract mammals, who then spread the spores and the process of land regeneration continues.
Whoop, he's got one. Have you got something here? Show me, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, down there somewhere, is it? All right, chef. Move in. It's your truffle. Good boy. Yes, sir. Good boy. There you go. So if you cut this, you can actually see all the whorls, all the swirls of the mycelia.
So cross like so?
Yes.
Just like so?
Yeah, by all means. And there you have it. And what you're looking at with all these little swirls of white veins, that's actually the gills of a mushroom of 100 million years ago.
Wow.
Oh, that's a beauty, actually.
The fragrance coming out of this bowl is just extraordinary.
Now Peter teaches Chef Macca how to get the most from these late-season truffles.
We're going to use some cultured butter, because cultured butter has turned the lactose into lactic acid. The other thing that brings out the flavour, like anything, is alcohol. You can drink it, it's fabulous, or you can flame it off in sauces, and wow.
And, as if this taste sensation isn't enough, puppies are sure to make Chef Macca go gooey.
Oh my God. Put them in a bag, I want to take them home.
After the break, it's party time. And stay tuned for your chance to win your very own Easy Trail caravan. Returning now to beautiful Braidwood on the southern tablelands of New South Wales, and we're setting up for our happy hour party at Saddle Camp. However, a few k's out of town is a small farm producing another gourmet product set to revolutionise your kitchen.
Braidwood is an excellent garlic growing area.
Jenny Deniher is passionate about her garlic.
We feed our soil, we make our own compost, we collect our own wormweed. We try not to be wasteful of what is a beautiful product.
But it's not just the garlic, it's what they do with it after harvest that has chefs and cooks alike raving.
All right, so welcome to Garlic World.
Cool. The guys at Garlicious specialise in black garlic, something I've only recently heard about.
The big surprise.
Turns out black garlic is extremely good for your health, heart health in particular.
Beautiful and black.
It's so glossy.
And shiny and moist.
Okay, time to taste it.
I think the crunch
beautiful.
of the cucumber and the creaminess of the cheese is a great complement to the black garlic. So tell me what you think.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. And it is really sweet.
So the way I would usually try and describe it to someone is a big forward sweet molasses flavour, and then those kind of soft garlic notes come through.
Don't think of black garlic as a garlic alternative. Think of it as a finishing ingredient, like a spice or a salt replacement.
The plus is that you don't get garlic breath.
Oh, that's good.
Chemical that gives you garlic
All
breath.
you single folk out there.
So, time to head back to camp and start celebrating the amazing food uncovered from this trail.
Great.
All right.
What a haul. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
And we'll see you at the happy hour party.
Okay, that'll be a
Great.
pleasure. See
Okay.
you then.
There's no better way to see the real Australia than by caravan, so we're giving you the chance to win an Easy Trail Sejuna 15. This luxurious family van has been given the RV Daily Foodie Trails tick of approval. We think you'll love the comfortable king-size bed, the onboard bathroom and the functional outdoor kitchen for your very own Foodie Trails. Valued at $65,000, the Sejuna 15 has everything you need for your next adventure. All you have to do is bring the cheese and wine. To go into the draw to win this fantastic prize, head over to rvdaily.com.au. And now it's time to celebrate all we've discovered on this Foodie Trail, from Robertson in the Southern Highlands to Yass and to Braidwood here on the Tablelands.
Oh, beautiful, look at that.
And what better way to party than with kids and horses?
They're going to go great with this truffle butter.
If there's anything better than a puppy licking your ear, I don't know what it is.
So I've got this fabulous black garlic powder.
Wow.
Yeah, black garlic, should butter.
Yumbo Scrumbo.
See you next time.